Joe Biden is over in fucking Ukraine when these Ohio residents suffering from that fucking train spill. It's crazy, y'all. We're gonna get into this video here, y'all. Whereas though Joe Biden is giving away the American people tax dollars to Ukraine to fight a war they can't win. Come on, y'all. Listen to what Joe Biden said about Ohio, y'all. Listen to this.
Palestine, while the current president visited Ukraine, when he could have just made a pit stop. 290 miles is the distance from the White House to East Palestine. He could have made that stop very easily and just at least showed some face that he was there to support them. But what did you make of this, especially that he wrote a $500 million check to Ukraine? Meanwhile, American tax...
He wrote a $500 million check to Ukraine while the American people over here suffering as far as what high inflations. But he's over in Ukraine writing a $500 million check. Man, what we gonna do with this dude, y'all?
Taxpayers are dealing with what they're dealing with in Ohio.
Yeah, this is really par for the course for this administration. And being from a flyover state, I think the people in Ohio really understand now that they are indeed in a flyover state, quite literally, with Joe Biden flying over their state to go over to Ukraine to brag about handing more of their tax dollars over to Zelensky and co. You know, it really is infuriating. And the Biden administration sent a message very loud and clear. And so did his transportation secretary, Pete, who took 10 days to even address the issue publicly. And he didn't do so from the ground in Ohio. He did so from a video, what looks to be a D.C. office. So the message from the Biden administration to these people is very loud and clear. You are a poor white community in Ohio. We don't think we're ever going to get your vote. We don't think we need your vote in future elections. So we're going to largely ignore you. And then we're going to take press trips for photo ops in places that you are not in, and countries that really do not matter to you. And when you're dealing with a toxic fallout in your own hometown, and we're going to do it all in your face, and we're going to flaunt it. It's shameless, but this is really what the Biden administration has stood for from day one. Make Ukraine great again, but as for Ohio, largely ignored.
Do you think that's really what this is, especially because when you think about it, FEMA says that this doesn't warrant federal aid, which I don't, if this doesn't, I don't know what does. But do you think that's what it comes down to, that it's a white community, that it was predominantly Republican? Surely you would hope not, but is that what you think?
Well, certainly I believe that, because I think the writing is on the wall, and the environmentalists have really taken a hiatus when it comes to this as well. So it's not just the Biden administration, it's these climate change warriors that should be on the ground, should really be caring about this situation. And all signs point to, yes, they don't seem to care about this community. Now, the thing that bothers me most about this is right now, Fox News and other conservative outlets are putting a lot of heat and a lot of pressure on this administration to care about Ohio, something that we shouldn't have to do. But in a few weeks, we're going to move on. We're going to talk about something else that the Biden administration has destroyed. And these people are still going to be dealing with, they're still going to be dealing with toxic chemicals and not knowing if their health and safety is at risk. That's why I think the message needs to be sent to these people of Ohio. We care about you. We are going to be there for the long haul, and you are not a flyover state to us.
Yeah, I guess so much for President Biden being everyone's president. But now onto this. Social media users are ripping Vice President Kamala Harris for posting this photo of herself posing next to a young girl wearing a mask. I'm not quite sure if this is the reaction she was hoping to get from this. But how many times, Tommy, have we seen people in complete outrage? I mean, myself included, seeing the adults with no mask on with a kid masked next to them. She should have known better.
Well, she absolutely should have, but again, I think also the caption on this photo that she tweeted out, for her own purposes, by the way, is never ask permission to lead, but you have to ask permission to breathe freely if you're a young child who actually has very little risk from COVID, always has had very little risk from COVID, but it sends a very strong message from Kamala. She uses these children as props, and we know in the past she's actually used children as props for...
Yes, she do use them kids, especially them African-American kids. She ain't did shit for them African-American community since she been vice president. So now, look, she want to pose with little black girls and shit like that. Man, she's a fake-ass bitch, man.
commercials and other press opportunities. But this is child abuse through and through. I can't believe we are still masking children, and it's a strong message coming from the vice president when you are once again using children to advance yourself, especially when they have to be in a face diaper. But do I expect much else from Kamala Harris?
Diaper.
No, not really.
Do you think she'll learn her lesson?
Exactly, a face diaper.
Or do you think she's going to continue to do stuff like this? Because she seems like she's just going to keep doing it to me.
Yeah, again, we've given this vice president so many opportunities to prove us wrong, to maybe go to the board or maybe address some of the things that she is czar of. She's not done any of that, so I expect her to stop with these cheesy photo ops. No, I absolutely do not. It seems to be working for her so far, and she will be, the top contender for 2024 if Joe Biden chooses not to run. So it's working for her, and that just shows the sad state of the Democrat Party.